day. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty.
Okay, yeah.
Boots on the
No,
ground.
go ahead and post it. I am on the live stream.
It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you join us from. Thank y'all so much for being on the live stream today. Thank you to the NTZ crew. I already saw Michael Beecher live and Jacob Chande on here. I really appreciate it. There's another gentleman I'm going to add if he's on here. He asked me, he said he'd love to be a moderator. We can always use good moderators. Today, the subject is there's no perfect blueprint for coming to the Philippines. We're going to talk about this, guys. Let's put this to rest. You got to follow your heart. You know, no two people are the same. Nobody's circumstances is the same. Your pensions aren't the same. How long are you going to be here? I know a guy who only comes here 3 months out of the year. But that's enough to recharge his batteries. You don't have to live here, but enough with these experts and gurus telling us how much money we need, who should come over, who shouldn't, when we should come over, and all that stuff, man. I call them gurus because that's what they are. I'm not one of them because I'm not stupid. I know that the Philippines is the superstar. I'm just a witness. I know that if I take Sunshine Shoulders to America, guess what? Y'all not coming with me. Y'all staying right here in the Philippines. And a lot of these big-time vloggers, expat vloggers in the Philippines who move on, they learned that lesson, guys. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I got some great points over here. And I got it from my buddy Robert Dame the other day. They were beating him up about having $1,200 US per month. And, you know, enough with that, guys. Right now is a great time. Any time is a great time to come to the Philippines. But right now, the peso is 58.23. I mean, it's just crazy right now. And I know some guy put on here, he says, well, let's address this one first. He said, how will the peso reaching high numbers benefit those that are still stuck in poverty? Well, that's a question for the government. You don't ask us that, sir. That's a question for the president, the Congress, and all of that. Because we don't make the rules. Okay, and it is the dollar that's going up. All the other currencies are not going up like the dollar is going up. He said, well, their daily wages increase, does it benefit those that have 15 or more monthly? Well, it's the same way over in America. I speak for America. You think your cost of living rates for Social Security and all that is keeping up with inflation? It's not. Trust me. But we don't make the rules. And we just, you got to just enjoy it while it lasts. If you're on this side of the coin. JJ Nunez says the peso going up doesn't help no one because the food, electric, gas will catch up. No, it takes a long time to catch up. Okay, I said because I knew this question was going to be on here today. It says right here that the dollar's up almost 12% year to date than the Philippine peso. And the inflation over here is hovering around 4%. So we're winning. If you using a dollar over here, you winning. And there's no sense in us making excuses, feeling bad about it. Because I've been here when it was 41. Wasn't nobody feeling sorry for me either. Okay. Hey, what's up, R68 DVR? Jacob Chanje, good morning. One other thing before we get started, guys. Now, okay, if you think this is coincidence, it's not. I'm reading in the Inquirer today. A Filipina agreed to take $20,000 to wed her friend from the Philippines in a sham marriage. Now, we were just talking about sham marriage. Now, this lady was over in America. She went to America in like 2003 and became a citizen in 2004. She was 39 years old. It's in the newspaper. She comes home in 2012 for some type of celebration, visit her people. And the family of her best friend, one of her best friends, a man, said, hey, we'll give you $20,000 cash to marry him so he can get his U.S. citizenship. Well, of course, she agreed to it. And, everything was going fine. They get the K-1 visa approved. He comes over. They get married. But here's where she messes up. Now, she got a great job with Customs and Border Patrol. She's an officer. In 2019, she goes into the data bank to check on the status, the federal law enforcement data bank, to check on the status of the immigration status of her husband. Well, this raised a red flag because rumors had already been going around that it was a fixed marriage. They can't keep a secret that she was seeing somebody else, that they were just roommates, basically. Well, anyway, bottom line was she got caught, but she really, busted herself. Had she not went in that database, they'd be okay. But so she loses her job, a great job, by the way. 2 years probation. Then she has to pay $8,500 in some type of restitution or forfeiture or something. But here's the kick, though. The man isn't charged. He wasn't charged. And at the time that they sentenced her, he had already applied for his U.S. citizenship. So I just thought I'd bring that up. It's in the paper today. It's crazy. Because I just did a video on the sham marriage, and we talked about that. What else? Okay. Yeah, let me read this and then we'll get started. It says, there are as many blueprints for coming to the Philippines as there are people who have them. There's no perfect plan. Follow your heart. Use your intelligence and common sense that got you this far in life. Stop listening to these experts and gurus who are telling you what you must do and how much money you need to visit and enjoy the Philippines. See, this is where I am. See, because I saw two videos, from two vloggers, and they own the same thing, guys. Telling guys what they need to do, what they should do. You already know what to do. Because you've come this far, you got enough intelligence, you got enough sense to make your own decision. Do you want to have a few clues? Yeah. But I'm not going to tell anybody, don't come over here unless you got $3,000 a month, which is one of the videos. I was shocked to see that. Then another guy, says, oh, don't come over here if you don't have 1,000. Well, who am I to tell you don't come over here, first of all, and what you need to do to come over here? I can only share with you my experience, my boots on the ground experience, what I'm seeing, what I'm living, what I'm experiencing. And then it's up to you because you've got great common sense. Most of the guys watching this are 45 and over. They paid their dues. You retired from the military, your job. You got 401ks. You got all kinds of stuff. Social Security. Who am I to tell you don't come over here, man? But it's something else I wrote down here. Let me see. Because it got under my nails, man. Okay. It says no two plans are the same. Okay. It says don't overthink it. It takes courage to come here. And then your plan is going to be your plan. Are you going to be here just 1 month out of the year? Because believe it or not, guys, if you're over there and you're lonely, you're tired, you don't have any energy, your enthusiasm's gone, man, 1 week over here out of the year will revitalize you, will rejuvenate you. You don't have to move over here 100% if that's not what you want, if you don't think that you got what it takes to move over here. But to tell you not to come over here unless you got this whole list of things that they make up, which, by the way, none of them have, okay? It's bullshit, man. I'm going to tell you that. Because the guy who says, oh, you need 3,000, okay, well, how much of that 3,000, because he doesn't say, is savings? So you telling me that for me to live in the Philippines, I have to spend $3,000 per month? What the hell am I spending $3,000 a month on over here? You got a hell of a taste to spend that. Now, if he said, well, 1,000 of that is for your savings just in case of an emergency, yeah, I can deal with that. But he don't say that. He's just talking about lifestyle. He's talking about your everything. That's bullshit, man, because I've been doing it for 4 years for far less than that. Okay, so I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to tell anybody that, because what are you spending your money on over here for 3,000? You got, okay, let's just say, like my buddy Franz in Cebu, he's back. He got back. Let's say he's spending $600 a month for a condominium right in the center of Cebu, in the middle of everything. $600 now, but you got to realize that includes his electric, his water, his condo bill, everything. So what is he spending $2,400 on every month to get to 3,000? This is where we start thinking, guys. That's a lot of money. Okay. Anthony Williams said, man, I hope it does revitalize me through and through. It will. You don't have to come over for a year. I know a guy that comes over for 3 months out of the year, the winter. And then he goes back and worries, nothing. He didn't sell anything, he didn't give up anything, but he gets rejuvenated 3 months out of the year. I did it for 9 years. The longest I stayed over here was 13 months. That's because my son was born premature. But prior to that, the most I was staying over here was like 3 months, I believe, the longest I did. 3 months, 2 months. But after a while, when I came up with my own plan, because the guys on these YouTube channels, they wasn't talking to me anyway. They weren't talking to me anyway. I had to make my own plan. So nobody was talking to me. And I just said, okay, I'm going to take what I got, which at the time, it was about $1,900 every month. I had about $17,000 in cash. I'm going to give it a go. What good does it make if I'm dying over there to hold on to my money? Okay, don't be stupid. Like I said, use your intelligence and your common sense that got you this far, but don't be stupid. Now, the truth says, Saul from True has stolen my soul. Yeah. Good luck with that. What's up, Yusuf Amahabi? You probably have to get in line, man, because a guy messaged me the other day. He said, Calvin, I'm watching this True channel. He said, man, these guys are thirsty. And I was like, well, let them be thirsty. And this guy says, Claire, for me, True, she's a honey spider. Not realizing, man, there's a million Claires over here. There's a million souls over here. But, if that's what rocks your boat, but I'm not getting in line over here. Now, they can get in line for me, but I'm not getting in line over here. Okay, Overland 5.7. He said, hey, Calvin, just stuck because of my 12-year-old daughter. Can't leave to 6 years from now. That's okay, man. Come over here for a vacation. Surely you can get 2 weeks out of the year. See, that's what it's all about. It doesn't mean you have to come over here and live. The truth says everyone I know on disability gets like $900 a month. They said when I applied in 2018, said I get $1,100 a month. Going on 5 years, I'll be 51, and my lawyer said they're going to handle it. Pray for me. What do you mean? I don't understand. They're going to raise it up or what? Hey, Randy. Good morning. Cole Calty said, did you quit your job when going there for 3 months? I took leave of absence. Well, see, I'm an independent insurance agent, so I had that flexibility. That was one of the things that really sold me on being an agent or any type of salesman. See, I could save my money and I didn't have to, I was only accountable to myself and to the government. I wasn't accountable to anybody. So if I wanted to take 3 months off or whatever, I could. And see, a lot of guys, just like it takes courage to come over here just for 2 weeks. Imagine you trying to just uproot everything and move over here full time. It takes courage. It takes courage to work on commission. You have to know yourself. See, I know who I am. I mean, anything can happen, but anything can happen to me no matter where I am. But I know who I am. If I'm going to roll the dice and bet on anything, it's going to be myself. And that's what I'm asking you guys to do. Don't sit around waiting on these guys who are, by the way, they're over here. They have a perfect life. You're struggling over there or whatever it is. And they're telling you, hey, hold on, wait, don't come over here. You don't have what it takes to come over here. That's bullshit. You do have what it takes. Nick Lewis says, how in the 20 and 30 years? I don't understand. What are you saying? The Beach of Life says, highest bidder, those that know. What y'all talking about, Michael Beach of Life? How are the 20 and 30 years old? Man, so many of them. What do you mean? A lot. If that's what you like. And I was talking to Monroe the other day. He's a great guy, man. And I'm glad that y'all didn't jump on his case, because the one thing that he said in the whole interview that impressed me was, he said, had she been upfront and honest and told me that she was married, I would have paid for the annulment and waited. See, that shows you what kind of man he is. But I was telling him the other day, I said, look, if I could do it all over again, which obviously I can't do it, I'm 1,000% satisfied with Maryland. I would get a younger lady over here, somewhere between 20 and 24 years old. Because the longer you wait, man, the more this system kind of grinds them up. Like it grinds us up as we get older over there. It grinds them up, and pretty soon, she may have PTSD, anxiety, depression, something, children, or ex-husband. So, because they're like, don't get me wrong, there's advantages to going with an older woman, but I'm saying, look, listen to me. If that kind of stuff bothers you, I'm sitting over here, I'm telling you what I'm seeing. As these women get older, man, they're depressed, they have anxiety, they have children, they have ex-husbands, ex-boyfriends, and you're least likely to run into that when you get a 20 to 24-year-old woman. And she's going to be mature enough for you to deal with. Yeah, he said, yeah, many Claires. It is. As a matter of fact, my role was, because I told him, he said, I said, look, man, you're in Cebu now, because he's going to only be there a few days and he's going somewhere else. I said, Cebu is as good as it gets. I said, do yourself a favor, go to the mall and build up your appetite. Because he's with somebody. I said, just go over there and build up your appetite. He texted me from the mall. He said, man, I had no idea what was waiting over here. Hey, Stephen L., he says, what do you think a typical Filipino family lives on per month? Under 10,000? Yeah. The average is 12,500. But see, I live among the locals, I always have. And the longer I'm here in St. Carlos City, I meet more people. Like I know a policeman, he earns about 70,000 per month. School teachers earn a little bit more than that. But just the regular, ordinary people that you come in contact with, they're not earning anything near 12,500. I think the minimum here is, I want to say 385 pesos per day. So yeah, and you don't have to come over here and live like the like a Filipino. But if you were smart, you would tell yourself after a lot of the things, you would watch them, and they'll teach you what to do and what not to do with your money. Especially if you look at the middle class Filipinos, because they live just like you live over there, believe it or not. I mean, you're going to be shocked. I did a video a long time ago about not only will the poverty shock you over here, but the wealth will shock you over here. You know what the stories we get in the West about the Philippines? Oh, poverty everywhere, and this and that, right? No, man, it was a growing middle class over here before the pandemic. So many cars, houses being built, the whole 9 yards. You can watch them, what they're doing, and say, well, hell, I'm making double, maybe 3 times what you're making. I'm talking about somebody over here with a good job. So if you can do that, here's what I'm going to do. And that's when I started getting more for my money. I watched them. I asked them, when they said, oh man, 15,000 pesos a month for a house, that's a lot. Okay, I started listening to that. And so I started looking at somewhere in between 10,000, something around there. And you can find a nice place over here for 10,000. Yeah, it is really enough time. Believe it or not. You're damn right it's enough time, because as a matter of fact, it'll inspire you. It'll motivate you to go back so you can come back for more time, Anthony, because when I came here the first time, it was 2 weeks, man. I went home, I'm crying. I couldn't wait to get back. My sales went through the roof when I got back. Yusuf said, sometimes on the dating site, I'll play dumb and ask a Filipino how much minimum is needed to live there per month. Nice to hear the answer from locals, even if the answers vary. When you ask the locals, it's really going to stymie them when you say, well, 70,000 per month, because that's a lot of money over here. Over here, 70,000 pesos per month is. In America, England, France, and all those places, it's not even enough to scratch your behind. But over here it is. But your thinking's going to have to change. But just because you're earning $1,200 per month doesn't mean you can't come over here and live or stay over here to wet your whistle long enough, then go back home, and get recharged. I mean, let your battery run down and then come back again. Andrew Jewell says, is it hard to bring my Filipino wife's daughter to America? She was 15. No, it's not hard. As a matter of fact, is your Filipino wife already there? Because the reason I say is because my son's mother, she's a U.S. citizen now. My son was a U.S. citizen, so she didn't have to do anything for him. But his brother is a full Filipino, which was her son. She just now bought him over. It's a process, but it's not hard. But you better do it by the time she gets, I'm thinking it's 21 or 23, you have to check. So you're on the clock. Yeah, you're on the clock. Alpina R, what's going on, brother? He said the 20 to 30ish young ladies with no kids or one kid. Boy, that's like fresh water. I got to get up on that. It's just so many over here, man. And they just haven't. It's just like, see, over in America, they're a little bit faster, a lot faster. My daughter's 19. She's in college. She's a freshman in college. But she has a baby already because she got baby fever being around her sisters, which I begged her. I thought by her being the youngest that she would see the mistakes they made. But now, she just made her life that much harder, even though, we love little Nye. But, Over here, more than likely a 19-year-old, I'm just saying, I'm not generalizing. The ones that I be around, they're in college. Beat Your Life said, you sent Monroe to the Cebu Mall. Yeah, he's done. Yeah, he's done. I said, go to Ayala. I go to SM Mall. Do yourself a favor, man. Derek Casanaras, he's got a great, anybody interested in going to Thailand, he's got a great Facebook group. I'm a part of it. It's brothers and sisters in Thailand. But it's, it's a mix of people, and they tell their experiences, what hotels they're staying in, immigration problem, the good and the bad of being in Thailand. It's a great Facebook page. He said, like anywhere in the world, the cost of living in the Philippines varies depending on where you live. Yeah, but we're not even just talking about cost of living. These gurus, they have a list of stuff they're telling you. Oh, don't give up your Medicare. Well, let me tell you something as an insurance agent. The majority of men that I used to deal with over there who have all this great insurance over there, it does them no good because they don't use it. Medicare didn't save my father. He died. It didn't save my mother. More than likely, you're going to save you if anybody saves you. But that's a decision you have to make. I'm not going to tell you, hey, don't give up your Medicare, because you're never going to give it up. As long as that Part B is being paid, you're always going to have it. If you're over here and you say, hey, well, I fly to Guam if something serious happens to me, your Medicare is good over there in Guam. But I'm not going to tell you don't come over here. I'm not going to say, hey, man, don't give up your Medicare and come over here. That's something that you should be able, as a 55, 60-year-old man, you should be able to make that decision. Hey, what's up, Gary Blake? Yeah, I just share my experience. But, people kind of got on Robert the other day about his $1,200. And even though Sharon Lapu-Lapu said, yeah, that's a lot of money over here. If he can live off of $1,200 in America, what makes you think he can't live off of it over here? I don't get that argument there. I don't get it. What kind of protections does he have over there? Because he didn't say he did. That's, he owns this trailer. He pays a trailer, the lot fee and everything else he got. And, his $1,200 is shot by the end of the month. But why not come over here and let that $1,200 stretch out a little bit more? Hey, Willie Hernandez, he said, hey, Calvin, good morning from San Francisco. Man, I loved it out there. And I was out there in 2001. I was actually working in Martinez, California, on one of those oil refineries out there. I think it was Shell. I'm not for sure. Shell, but I'm thinking it was. And I got an inkling then on how expensive it was out there. Now, remember, I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. And on the way to the plant, I'm reading the newspaper. And I'm looking for some apartments. They had a studio apartment in 2001. It was $1,100 per month. I couldn't believe it. I asked the people in the van, I said, is this true? It's in 2001. Just for a studio apartment, it's $1,100. But I love the Fisherman's Wharf. I got my picture. I mean, this guy, he got me down pat, man. You know how they sketch you down on the wharf, right? And you right over, you can see Alcatraz from where I was. Well, hell, when my wife, when I split up, got divorced from my wife, that's the first thing I saw in the driveway when I pulled up to get my stuff. Well, she done ripped up the damn sketch of my face. Lawman 3966 says, why Guam? Because that's the Philippines. I mean, not the Philippines, that's America. A couple more hours on the plane and you could be back in your home state and have more medical care choices. Well, Guam got some pretty good choices. But I mean, you understand what I'm saying. I don't care what kind of good insurance you have. If you're not using it, it's not doing you any good. And most men, unless you coming out of the military, the police force or something like a fireman where that type of stuff is stressed and you basically have to get a physical every year or something like that. We're not doing it. We're not using it, man. We're dying much younger than the women over there. I'm telling you what I'm seeing with my own eyes. We don't go to the doctor. We're afraid of what they're going to find. We're afraid to sit in there. We don't have the patience to sit there for hours and all of that. But because my father had great insurance when he died, it didn't save him. My mother, by the time she went to the doctor, she had stage 4 cancer, lung cancer. I don't care what kind of insurance you had, what's going to save you? See, my mother died at 62. My father was 61. I'm 59. You think I'm going to sit back and listen to some damn guru over here telling me I shouldn't go here, I shouldn't go there? When this is my life, I'm going to follow my heart. I don't know how much time I got left. You know, guys ought to stop with that, by the way. Yeah, give them good, give your experience. But that's bullshit telling somebody they can't go here and they can't go there. Don't come over here. John Gomez said, Cal, whatever happened to Rudy? He's a money guy. I see him on other channels. I don't know what happened to Rudy. Somebody must have gotten his ear, and said, hey there. Well, him and Texas Suzoy are best friends. So I guess when Texas Suzoy stopped coming on the channel, he did too. But there was nothing I did. I don't have but the greatest respect for Rudy. I enjoyed his time on the channel. Yusuf Amar Beef says whether 1,200 is enough or not depends on his standard of living. For example, I hate the idea of living in a small, tiny, crappy apartments in the Philippines. I want a good, nice looking, comfortable space. But see, that's not even the point. The point of it is, don't discourage him from coming over here. Let him come over here and let him decide whether or not his 1,200 is enough. And more than likely, he'll find a way to make it enough. I was taking care of, how many times I got to tell y'all, about 5 people. And when Booby was born, it was 6. On about $1,400 per month. We didn't miss a meal. We ate like pigs, man, over here. And we lived in a nice 2-bedroom apartment, bigger than my house, by the way, for 100 and it would be 8,500 pesos. Let's see what that would be right now. So, but we're not even talking about cost of living. We're saying you have the right to come over here and construct your blueprint, put together your plan. Is it 1 month? Is it 2 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, full time? Whatever it is, you come up with it. I shouldn't be able to tell you what to do and what not to do, but I just want to give you an example. Okay, let's see. 8,500 divided by 58.23. It'll be 100. That same apartment I was paying $170 for is now $145. And by the way, it only went up to 9,000 since I left. So, but it's not really about that. It's about make your own plan. Hell, you smart enough, you intelligent enough. Hey, Ernest Badger, he says, hey, Cal, Ernie from Orlando, Florida, retired truck driver, headed to the Philippines after Christmas. Give me a heads up on what I should expect as soon as I get there. But what are you flying into? Manila, Cebu? The heat's going to slap you in the face. That's for sure. If you fly into Manila, it's like a beehive of activity. Be wary of the taxi drivers. But other than that, man, the Filipinos are going to roll out the brightest red carpet for you when you get here. They're going to sincerely welcome you. I had a guy just got here. He said, Calvin, you wasn't lying about that. He said, the minute I got off the plane in Cebu, they were super nice to me. Said one woman even wanted to come with me. But yeah, that's about what you're going to it's just a great place, man, for some people. Everybody doesn't like it here. They say it's too hot. All the infrastructure, I gotta spend too much to have my standard of living. But if you're a simple guy, by you being a truck driver, you probably simple like me. We've outgrown that phase of shiny stuff, the trophies and all that stuff. We just want to be happy. People leave us alone. Our money's going to stretch further than it does anywhere else. We can do a few things. See, one thing that went over y'all's heads the other day when I was talking about my simple life in the Philippines is this. I said we take 1 or 2 vacations per month. That went over your head because nobody even commented on that. In America, where I'm from, we take 1 vacation a year. We may, get a long 4-day weekend or something, but they working your behind off over that. Over here, we can take, even if it's just 1 vacation every month. You know what that does to my stress over here? And you're talking about, because my dollar's going so far, sorry. See, that's what went over your head. That's what I like about it over here. Willie Hernandez said, Calvin, a 1-bedroom apartment's about $3,500 per month. Wow. It depends on which area you live. A 1-bedroom can go as high as $5,500. See, now that's it. Do I have to say any more? Willie said it all for you right there. So if I'm earning $5,500 a month and they say, okay, well, you got to pay it all on your rent in San Francisco, or you can pay, just say, $500 per month over here, then, it's a no-brainer. Yeah, W Secret's success exchange rate is 58 pesos to $1. Wow. It's going up as we speak. When I put that on my community page today, it was 58.03. It's 58.23. But the Feds, I was reading the Bloomberg report. They're going up 0.75 percentage points by the end of the year again. They're going to raise that up to try to fight inflation. So that means the dollar's going to shoot up, man. They're talking some crazy numbers versus the peso over here, man. That's all I'm saying. Right. He said, you are your own guru. I talked to a preacher one time down in Shelbyville, Kentucky. Yes. And you know what he told me? He said, you're your own savior. That's what he told me, which I already knew that. He was preaching to the choir when he told me that. And it's true. We always sit around waiting for somebody to save you, man. You're going to save yourself. Nick Lewis says, I beg them to do checks like MRIs and x-rays. If you stay on top of your health, man, what else is more valuable than that? Your time, number one, and your health. Because you don't know what's going on inside of you, but if you get a doctor, you go there once a month, once every 3 months, let him monitor, take your blood work and do all of that. He's going to see something that's coming, man. But that's not what we do. We wait until we're sick, until we can't do anything else but crawl into the doctor's office. And then, just like my father, he says, hey, it's too late. You have cirrhosis of the liver, Mr. Roach, and you probably got 6 months to live. It's too late. And that's just how most men operate. And I can say that with all sincerity because that's how the insurance actuaries come up with these insurance premiums and everything like that. That's why they become so rich. They know how many people are going to die, how many men, women, children are going to die every day. They got a table of large numbers. They study us and been studying us ever since it started. Yeah, Smooth said 58.03. I got to get out there. Man, I tell you what. It's crazy. Maryland's never seen anything like it. And she's Filipino. Sammy Davis said, that's a great point, Calvin. Guys are living on 11, 1,200 in the U.S., and there are these vloggers telling them they can't live in the Philippines on the same money. Yeah, I don't get that, Sammy. I really don't get that one. How can I live in America where inflation is just sky high, everything's out the roof, and then you tell me I can't do it over here in the Philippines? Why couldn't I? I mean, at least let me try. Okay, and if I fail, okay. See, that's what's wrong with us. We want a guarantee over here. And that's a lot of the emails and messages I get. Guys want a guarantee. I can't give you a guarantee about the woman and this and that. You're going to find a nice place. Come over here and take the chance. Don't be afraid to fail. That's one thing that most successful people have in common. They failed over and over. Now you know what won't work. Okay? Mo, what's up, man? He said, good morning, Brother Cal. Today I trained at the pool, then to the dentist, tomorrow to the gym, regular doctor checkup, eating healthy, organic food. Don't eat fast food, soda, or alcohol. This is my Philippine plan. And it's a great plan. But that's why they call them habits. We've established some bad habits that we don't want to give up. They're hard to give up. We don't want to go through the pain. Some people don't want to stop smoking, believe it or not, because of the withdrawal symptoms. If that makes sense to you. They don't want to stop. One lady said, I don't want to stop because I'm going to pick up weight. Yeah, you probably are. Wow, Mike Dorsonville says, the peso is now 58.4. The peso will be over 60 at the end of December. Man, hell, they're talking about by the end of October, Mike, over here. They're talking 64 to 69 by the end of the year. That would be ridiculous. Yeah, I might buy, some gold-plated rims for my damn bike. Hey, Franz, what's going on, brother? Thanks for that super chat. He said, what's up, Brother Cal? Hope all is well with your family. The jet lag is no joke. I'll talk to you later. Yeah, I told you, man, go and get your rest. I'm glad you're back, man. And he was here for 4 months, went back for 2. Now he's back. I don't know how long he's going. But to be honest, that 4 months rejuvenated you, right? You didn't have to stay the whole year. DJ Lloyd Buck says the peso is increasing in value as we speak. Evidently, life is good in the land of Chocolate Hill. It is. And see, that's why you share your blessings. That's why I help people over here. The people around me, they get help. I mean, even in St. Carlos City, believe it or not, man, every now and then, and I just get, when the spirit hits me and I'm riding in a tricycle, I tell him to pull over to the gas station. I'll fill his tank up. You can ask Marilyn. We do that every now and then. I got the idea from a guy. He lives in Valencia, down by Dumaguete. I hope he's watching this. He said, Calvin, he said, from watching your channel, I got an idea. He said, every month I take 5,000 pesos and I go to the gas station. And when people pull up, I fill up their tank until my 5,000 is gone. But he switches around to different gas stations. You know, just his way of giving back. Yeah, Ernest. He said, yeah, share whatever you can when you can. Yusuf says, I'd love to have a Corvette there to speed through the narrow road, rough roads there. Only in some places, you know, if you get up there by Subic Bay and all the places, Manila, man, they got some nice highways up there. Believe it or not. Timothy Carter says, I'm picking up weight but walking it off. I don't mind. I don't need to die trying to keep up with a Pinay. Yeah. Matt Chappell says just saw $800 round trip from. Is that what's ORD? Is that um is that Chicago via Turkish Airlines? It's coming back, guys. W Secrets to Success blog said, Cal, you watched that documentary yet? Remind me, because somebody sent me a documentary that I was watching yesterday. Now, if you sent it to me in my WhatsApp, see, I don't know who these people are on this WhatsApp because your name doesn't come up, only your phone number comes up. Teresina Drive said, hey, Cal, is a true English city. A lot of pretty women. Yeah, but that's all over here in the Philippines. I mean, it's all over. Okay, it's Orlando. Yeah, and don't smoke. Now, he says ORD is Paris, France. What is it, guys? The truth says he's seen $600. When I came here, which is eventually going to get back to that, my round trip from Chicago to Cebu, not Manila, was less than $600. I bought me, my wife, and my son a ticket, and then I bought our seats on what's the name of it? On Cathay Pacific. It was less than $2,000. Yeah, sure was. I thought so, man. I thought so, guys. Because that's where I fly out of. Chicago. It's going to get back down like that eventually. Because so many people are flying to the Philippines. And then I saw where, I'm trying to think, one of the airlines in the Saudi Arabia, over that way, they call it the Middle East, really like Northern Africa. They're trying to get more flights in and out of the Philippines. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm going to watch that today. But I'm going to watch that today. That should be a good one. Because, they make their own guns over here, a lot of them. A lot of people make their own guns over here. But see, when you watch documentaries like that, you get that westernized view of everything. I'm pretty sure they're going to make it so violent on that documentary that it's going to scare me and I'm going to buy a plane ticket back to America. It's like jumping out of the frying pan into the fire. Hey, Marvin Jordan, he said how to get from Manila to St. Carlos. Well, it's a couple of ways. You can fly from Manila to Bacolod, which will be the shortest route. Then catch the bus from Bacolod to St. Carlos. Or you can fly into Cebu and then catch the bus to Toledo, then catch the ferry. I would just fly from Bacolod because today Marilyn went yesterday and she set up the wrong date for the meet and greet. She set up October 4th, which is on a Tuesday. I said, we're not going to do that. Excuse me. So she's going back today to change it. I wanted October 1st, which is a Saturday. She can't get that. It's already booked. So I told her October 8th. So once I find that out, I'll let y'all know. All you got to do is show up. I got the food. If you want to bring something to drink or something, because I don't drink, but I'm going to buy beer. See, the food comes with it. We get the venue. If you want to go swimming. And then, of course, I'm going to buy the beer. But, right now, tentatively, it's October the 8th. And we had a good time the last time. Ask anybody that showed up, man. We had a real good time. Yeah, see. Now, he said I flew from San Francisco to Clark for about $525 round trip. Yeah, you're in a perfect place, Derek, for those good ticket prices. Especially, San Francisco and LA. And then you can get direct flights, too. He said, I saw that documentary. It's good. Yeah. I just don't want them to, because I'm pretty sure uh, they're going to make it so bad that you'll be afraid, to walk outside your house. Yeah, there's plenty of guns here, but I've never encountered any guns in the Philippines. I mean, in my 13 years, I've never even seen a gun. I've never seen a gun or anybody with a gun. Now, my wife's brother's in the military. I want to say I saw his 9mm when he came home one time to visit the mother, and I was there. Maybe he had it on his waist. I can't, the only time I see guns is security, police, and military. People who's supposed to have them. But I've never seen anybody, nobody. A lot of people over there can't afford guns. But if you go out to certain areas, they make their own guns. Hey, D. Hicks says, hey, Calvin, what locations over there that's not hit with the brownouts, or is it unavoidable? Well, most of the big cities, you really don't have them. Now, Dumaguete does. But I wouldn't really consider Dumaguete a big city. Now, Cebu had that one for an hour, and I'm thinking, was it just in that condominium complex, or was it all that little area of Cebu? Because I've never encountered a brownout in Cebu. Manila either. It's not something that's a regular thing in those big cities like that. Now, in a little city like St. Carlos, which I believe we get our energy from Cebu. It's like an underground setup, underwater setup too. And I believe that's the reason why we have a lot of brownouts. But I don't encounter a lot. Okay, Michael Beach Your Life said they make great 1911 and Beretta 92 knockoffs here. Yeah, they make a lot of guns here, their own guns. And that's why a lot of people have been lucky that, they pull out the gun and shoot and it malfunctions, it doesn't shoot. I didn't watch the new Elvis movie yet, but I watched the documentary. I can't watch movies like that when it seems like I grew up on, around when Elvis was at his peak, and I just know so much about Elvis Presley that it's like I don't know anything new. There's nothing new they can tell me about it, so I wouldn't. It'd be like watching the Wizard of Oz over again. I already know what's going to happen. Absolutely, they got shooting ranges here. That's popular, and that's like a tourist thing. When you go to Lapu Lapu, that's one of the first things they ask me. That I want to go to a shooting range. The first time I came to the Philippines, one of the first tourist activities I was asked was if I wanted to go to a shooting range. Yeah. There's plenty over here. That's one of the first ones. Hey, Terry Lee Pleasant, he says, hey, Cal. Well, these fires, guys, you got to understand. They depend on when you leave, where you leave. It's almost like these blueprints for coming to the Philippines. You'll see where you can go to the Philippines for $289. I mean, it's just unbelievable. So you click on there, you put in your information, it comes up $1,289. It just depends on where you're flying from, what day, where you flying into. It has a lot to do with that. Oh, of course. Well, of course, Gary. That's not considered a brownout. That's a blackout. A brownout is when not all the area is affected by the power outage. That was an act of nature right there. Jose in Luzon says, hey, Cal, I'm in Guam for a week, divorcing my Filipino ex. There in Guam or what? Is that where she lives? Is that where you got married? Because I think Rudy said that's what he did. That's what he had to do. His wife had to fly back from the mainland to Guam to get a divorce because that's where they got married. Well, I don't know. See, that's a good question. This is questions, guys, that you would ask a lawyer or something. That's not something I can answer. He said, if you lease land there, can you acquire water rights from a natural stream? That's a hell of a question. Hey, Butcher one, he said, Cal, I'll be moving to the Philippines because of you when I retire in about 2 years. Well, I hope I influenced you, but I hope you move in here because of you. Because I wouldn't want to be responsible. You say, hey, you told me to come over here, and now look, it didn't work out. Just to, decide what your plan is going to be. Design your own plan. Take what you want from all these websites and bloggers and everything, and then use your own intelligence and common sense to construct your own plan. Don't sit over here listening to them guys telling you how much money you need. Don't come over here at a certain age. Don't live here. Don't live there. And all that other foolishness that they tell you. Oh, what if an accident happens? Well, what if it happens at home? Insurance didn't save my mother, didn't save my father. Hey, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Timothy Carter says, I'm making plans for vacation next year. It'd be nice if we can all hook up for a day trip for expats. Yeah, I'm seeing more and more of that now. That's why I'm having the meet and greets. It's good to hang around with other expats, not all the time, but every now and then, you can shoot the breeze and talk about the things you have in common because you don't get that all the time over here. That's one thing that you're going to be missing unless you live around expats. You're going to miss that sort of camaraderie that goes along with talking about the stuff we talk about. Oh, okay. He said Americans can get a divorce from a Filipino in Guam because it's a U.S. territory. We married in Cebu. So where are you? Oh, okay. So you're living here you're living here in the Philippines. So you're going to Guam. Oh, okay. I get you now. Isaiah Allen says if someone is going to work remotely and reliable internet is essential for their work, what two cities are the best options? Are there any cities in the Philippines now have brownout? I would say, the Philippines, one thing, they got 5G over here now. Most of the big cities and a lot of the second-class cities have great Wi-Fi. We got great Wi-Fi here in a little bit place like San Carlos City. But, of course, Manila and Cebu, Davao, General Santos, all those big places like that. Zamboanga City, Angeles City, Dumaguete, which Dumaguete has brownouts though. But the good thing is they'll give you a heads up. They'll tell you, hey, Sunday is going to be a brownout from 6 in the morning to 6 in the afternoon. Then you make plans around that. It used to be they didn't tell you. I'd be in Zamboanga, man. Then all of a sudden, you're on the internet or you reading something, then just everything goes off and you don't know when it's going to come back on. Okay, yeah, he lives in English City. Oh, okay. Well, see, that's great news. We didn't know that. I didn't know that. So that's what you do when you want to divorce a Filipino. Go to. Now, she can't divorce you. She has to get an annulment, right, Jose? Ed from Queens, thanks for that super chat. He said, very good advice. He said, no matter what country you want to live in. That's right. But see, because I'm blogging in the Philippines, and most of the people watching my channel have an interest in coming here at some point, moving here. We got to keep it on the Philippines. I'm saying, come up with your own plan. I mean, you've made it this far in your life with your own intelligence, your own common sense. They didn't stop airplanes from going back and forth from the Philippines to wherever you're coming from. And then you have an embassy over here, you have a consulate over here. Don't be stupid. Use your common sense. Always have money for that ticket home. But an emergencies can happen anywhere. That's why they call them emergencies, accidents. But the fact that an accident can happen shouldn't stop you from coming over here. It can happen at home, and more likely it's going to happen where you live anyway. Hey, Saif Al-Zajali, I hope I got that right. Good morning, Cal. Just exchanged 6,000 US. Wow, for next month traveling. I got almost 50,000 pesos extra. Oh, wow, that's great. Watching from Oman. Wow. Yeah, see, that's free money. Any way you look at it, people are like, oh, they ain't giving away free money. Yeah, they are. That's free money he received. And when I was talking about the exchange rate, I meant to say if you would have invested $1,000, not 1,000 pesos, look how much more money that you would have earned. Just from year to year. I'm saying. Back in March, guys, listen, it was 52. We're talking what? April, May, June, July, August. 6 months later, it's 58 and climbing. Oh, man. Well, I talked about that. That's why, because Myra asked me, to, when are you going to buy you a car? I said, I'm not driving over here. I said, much road rage as I had in America, I can imagine coming over here. They would deport me over here. I'd be cursing people out every 20 meters. Yeah, Filipinos. But they actually can drive, to be honest with you, because they come within inches of avoiding accidents every day. I see some stuff when I'm behind Maryland, riding with Maryland, which I very seldom do. No, W Secret to Success blog said, speaking of brown house, black house, Cal, with exchange rate, it's time to think about solar panels. No more accounts of live stream. Man, it's too high over here. They're like the old, remember microwaves first came out and VCRs and digital watches. You know how high they were at first. Now they're a dime a dozen. You can microwave oven at Walmart when I left in 2018 for $19. I'm gonna wait till I can get me a set of solar panels for $19. I'm not paying no. It would cost me more, just as much, to put solar panels in here than this house costs. Now, when it gets to a reasonable price, then I'll think about it. But remember, it's about priorities over here. I got mouths to feed. We can deal without that solar stuff for right now. Oh, well, Nia Atox says our prices rising for food and other living expenses. Well, food, absolutely. And, the energy, electricity has went way up. Now, the fuel is, it's up and down. But food, definitely. But rent, no. Labor, no. It's a lot of things that, living in a place like the Philippines. Well, inflation, that's why they call it inflation. It goes up when, your salary's not going up. And so, yeah, food, absolutely. But like your rent still cheap here. It's really cheap here. Labor is really cheap here. I was telling, I showed Monroe the guest house. I said, you know how much I paid the electrician, which by the way is one of the best electricians maybe on this whole island. He charged me 10,000 pesos for that. I don't know it was the same guy who did the engineer hired to do the wiring here. That's why I got him to do it there. 10,000. You couldn't get that for one day over there in America. So yeah, but the food is rising so fast. I don't know if it's really rising to the point of being ridiculous. I bought the creamer. I told you I used to buy it. It was 50 something pesos. It went up to 75, and I was like, wow. I thought, well, maybe the package is bigger. Maybe I'm getting a bigger package. It wasn't. Then the next time I went in there, it was 95, then 97. Now when I went in there 2 days ago, it was 121 pesos. Couldn't believe it. He says, Mark Max says, how often do you have meet and greets? Well, we had one back in May when we celebrated Booby's christening and Marilyn's birthday. And we're having one in October to celebrate. It'll be 1 year this house was built. And then, just a meet and greet for everybody. Maybe every few months or something. Since people are coming now and they know where we are. And, it's good to be around other expats and stuff. And this is a great place, this Meg's. If you're ever in San Carlos City and you want to rent something like for your birthday party or something, and this place, you get the venue now. You get food for 30 people. Okay. The whole setup, tables, chairs, decorations and everything for 10,000 pesos. It used to be less than that, but now they have a minimum of 30 people. It used to be a minimum of 25. And then a certain amount of them, everybody gets in free because remember, there's an entrance fee normally. That's waived. So 30 people get into the resort free, but only a certain amount of them, maybe 5 or something, get to swim. If you want to swim, I think it's 100 pesos or something. But yes, it's a great deal. It's a nice place. It's a beautiful place. What's up, Coach Cheese? Yes, very expensive. Reggie Jones says, boy, you got that right. My electric bill is around $90 a month. Now around $130. Who's fooling who? Yeah, I've never seen electric bills as big as the ones I'm seeing now. I saw my last one was 8,400 and something. Now the water's not going up. Water's cheap here in the Philippines, but electric has skyrocketed up. And you see a lot of people, a lot of times when they want to borrow money or something here, it's to pay their electric bill. That's one of the things that's going up. Well, I've never been to the VA. It's an outpatient clinic. You have to sign up for it. You can't just walk in, Joseph. So make sure you sign up for it online before you come to Manila. But then they got somebody help me. Is it a foreign medical program or foreign medicine program? You got to sign up for that too. Because I think that will give you some type of inpatient care, if I'm not mistaken. Back to Bangkok, it says, I was thinking coming over there today. Think I can get 14 days. Would like to come over and take a look around, get used to the place, go visit English City and finally see what it's like. Yeah, well, probably by you being in Bangkok and being on Walking Street, the Walking Street in Bangkok and all of that, you may be disappointed because Sammy Davis told me that it's the slow time there now, English City. The best of the best isn't there right now. Well, the Teresina Draft says, "Hey Cal, I heard in the Filipino culture the wife's family expected the foreigner husband pay for everything for her family. Is that true?" And in some cases, I guess it is true, but most part, no. Will they ask her? They'll ask her like it's her money. And say, "Hey, Marilyn, can I borrow 5,000 pesos?" Well, Marilyn don't have 5,000, but I do. But no, Filipinos don't ask you for nothing, man. You know, they don't ask you for nothing. But if you want to be a decent human being and you come over here, the woman that you dealing with, her family's struggling. Is it your responsibility to lift them up? No, but if you really want to make a great impression, man, you help the mother and father. Then let them help whoever else. There's not 1 month that goes by that I don't help. Even the women I used to deal with, and you remember I only dealt with 3 families over here. You know, and when I first met my son's mother, and I'd go up there, I mean, she's built them a nice house. Y'all seen that in the video. But before that, they lived in one of those little houses like the kids live in. You know, I'm helping up there now to rebuild all of those houses up there. She didn't have to ask me. I'd give her 3, 4, 5,000 pesos every time I went up there. It wasn't nothing for me to do. I wasn't. But they never asked me. Never asked me for anything. Yeah, we need to stick together. Filipinos sure stick together. I don't know what they're talking about, the crab in the bucket over here, but you go overseas, wherever Filipinos are, they stick together. And that's where I got my idea. We need to stick together. We need to have some type of support group over here. Some type of community, man, where if something really goes wrong, man, there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to help. Hey, Jeffrey, thanks for the super chat. Says, "Hey, Calvin, have you had the chance to use the grill set by OG Fred?" Yeah, I did. The mother cooked some fish the other day. Now I'm running out of charcoal, but yeah, I put Fred in the Hall of Fame for that grill. I mean, he actually sent me a real grill. I'm like, wow, Fred. I mean, it was really, to think that somebody would do that, man, it's unbelievable. And yeah, he sent me a real grill. I mean, it'll rival anything at home. But yeah, Jeffrey, we've used it a few times. I love the fish on the grill. You can't beat that. Yeah, I know VA. Yeah, the VA in Manila. Yeah, you gotta sign up for it first, Joseph. You can't walk in there. It's an outpatient clinic in Manila. Okay, it's not like the VA in your hometown. Girl Stipak says family was probably dependent on her income to help out before the foreigner came along and insisted she stop working and be with him only for her to replace the income that you removed. Absolutely. I say that all the time, and that's right. A lot of the women that you're going to deal with over here, they're the breadwinners. These are the ones that you see online. Remember, English is their second language, but they speak English on our level. So they're not stupid. They're not dummies. The women you're communicating with online, man, these are the breadwinners. And you take them out of the family and remove that money, you got to put that back, man. I promise you. Now, it's funny about this now because the guy was asking me, he told me, I think it might have been Yusuf from RB. He said, I've got to learn Tagalog. No. Even Filipinos here in St. Carlos City, our 8-year-old, she's in the 2nd grade. She doesn't know Tagalog. She's being taught Tagalog right now in school. Tagalog will be her second language. Visaya is her first language. Tagalog second, and then English 3rd, believe it or not. Because that's why I asked Marilyn today, because they were going over, she got a test today, 2nd grade does, in Tagalog. And I was like, that's right. She doesn't know Tagalog. Unless you grew up in a house where they speak Tagalog in Luzon or somewhere like that. Otherwise, you're not going to know it. Now, Booby speaks to them. This is crazy now. Booby just turned 2 last month. I don't know how she does it, what's going on in her mind. But Booby talks to them in Bisaya, and she talks to me in English. Now, you figure that one out at 2 years old. Hey, what's up, Lonnie? Says checking in from Houston, Texas. Good morning. Good evening, brother. What happened to Japan? Now, I told y'all on my last live stream that they said batten down the hatches. What's going on, Jeffrey? You ain't say nothing about that. Gary T, I see you, brother. Let me see. He said, greetings from San Francisco. Monroe was a great guest. What a story. Will you have him back as guest in the future? He's welcome here, man. He'll be in the Philippines for a couple more weeks. But another subscriber saw that, right? He said, Calvin, it almost happened to me. He said, I went through the whole 9 yards, and then after 2 years, one of the family members told him that the lady was married already. So he cut it off and ended up meeting his wife that he's with now. And we'll hear his story pretty soon, hopefully, if he's not afraid, because it's going to help some people. A lot of guys didn't know about that cinema and all that you have to do, because we think it's like the rules are the same over here as they are in our own country. I'll just come over here, propose and all that. Randy House says, love your content, Cal. $440 electric bill here in Southern California. Wow. See, that's the type of bills we get in the winter in Louisville, because you're running that heat all day long. But just imagine an 8,000 for this little house. It's a 650 square meter house. 800, almost 50, 800, 8,500 pesos, a lot of money, man. You know, trust me, that's somebody's salary over here. I'm like, man, are they reading that right? Yeah, that's crazy. Frederick Jones said, hey, Cal, taking the family to Manila for the first time, going to the embassy. $99 for 3 people to fly one way from Dubai. Oh, okay. Well, if you go into the embassy, right, you're in Armida already. I love that area. Go to I would check out the Airbnbs in that area, because you're right there on Rojas Boulevard. You're right there by Rizal Park. You got on down a little bit further, not that far down, is Dolomite Beach, where the government shipped in all that white sand. It looks nice down there. And of course, Manila got all the eateries, anything you want to eat. But I love down by them. I love that Rojas Boulevard. It seems to me like you're in America somewhere. But yeah, I would hope that Monroe would come back on, he acknowledges he made a few mistakes. I just don't understand. We can't marry. We're marrying too fast. Does it work out for people? Of course it does. A broke clock is right twice a day. So anything can happen like that. But man, you are really rolling the dice when you do that. Now, Edgar C says most Filipinos in the U.S. work extra hours to send money back for their family. They would not ask the husband for money to send back home. Yeah, and don't discourage them from doing that. It's part of the culture. And she's going to send it whether you want her to or not. Now, if anybody's just joining us, a Filipino, while you're on the subject of Monroe, in his sham marriage, a Filipino agreed to take a $20,000 payment to wed her friend from the Philippines so he could get his U.S. citizenship. She got caught, lost her good job, great job with the Customs and Border Patrol. She was an officer. Got 2 years probation, lost her job, had to pay $8,500 U.S. dollars, some type of forfeiture or whatever. But the man wasn't charged. They didn't charge him. And she had been in America since 2004. And, came home and did a favor for a friend, which they would have got away with it. But, Filipinos can't keep a secret. She's using the federal law enforcement search engine at work to look up his immigration status and raise a red flag because rumor had already been going around that it was a scam marriage. That was just proof right there. He had already had his green card. He was already applying for U.S. citizenship. She went poking around in there and got herself caught. She blew the whole thing up herself. Okay. L1 Lee 1190 said, I'm in Japan and don't even know what happened. Wow. Jeffrey Taylor said no typhoon came through. The sun is back on the job again. Yeah. What are you talking about, Coach Chief? But yeah, a lot of you guys coming over here. It's funny because I don't know if I read this on Facebook or wherever I saw it. He said, why do men get down on one knee to propose? And the guy says, because they're talking to the pussy. See, a lot of us, that's a mistake we're making. We're coming over here and we're marrying the pussy. We're not marrying the woman. We're not marrying the whole woman. And this is where you make a mistake. Yeah, he says, you get on one knee because that's who you proposing to the pussy. Yeah. And that's a big mistake we make. Instead of, trying to get to know the lady, who she really is. Remember, get to know the family too. The fruit don't fall too far from the tree, guys. See, if you go over there and you see the family's acting crazy, well, hell, she's probably going to be crazy too. My American wife, they all were crazy. Because I used to tell her, I said, well, hell, you don't even want in the family that's not crazy. But little did I know, she was crazy, just as crazy as the rest of them. Jim Crane says, seems like the only group that doesn't stick together is U.S. citizens. Fresh fish on the grill is better than any kind of fish. Sarasota, Florida, August electric bill, $343. Wow. But I thought that we got a break in Louisville. We get a break in the summer because of the electricity. Because of the aircon. But damn, 343. Yeah, the sun's back on the clock. Yeah. He punches the clock over here, Jeffrey, at about 7 a.m. And he stays on the job. He works overtime until about 5 o'clock. Tactics TV says, I heard that $9,000 can buy a 2 million peso house. No, 2 million pesos is about, $40,000, but not now, but something like $35,000 or something like that. No. You're looking at about, it's not even 9,000, it's not even 500,000 pesos anymore. But you can build you a house for that over here. You absolutely can. Let me see. 9,000 times 58.23. Yeah, 524,000. Yeah, you can build it. Because that's what excuse me, that's what we're getting ready to do over here in Toledo. I'm gonna spend less than that because I'm gonna spend about 6,000. Because I already talked to Marilyn. I said, no matter what happens between me and you, this is yours, that is mine over there. So, I'm gonna have a nicer house over there. I'm just saying, just in case. That's what they talk about, just in case. Well, hell, I'm gonna talk just in case too. Yeah. Y'all know that's the truth. And the guy hit it on the nose. He said, why do guys get down on one knee to propose? Yeah, because you're speaking to the pussy. You're proposing to the pussy. And that's the mistake we make over here. Crazy. Absolutely. If you want the truth, that's how you're going to find it out. You don't have to hire some fancy investigator. They're going to tell you for one reason or not. They're going to tell you. Wow, 340. Yeah, they're going to tell you, somebody said the cousin told Monroe because she was jealous. I don't know, maybe. She might have been mad. They might have had an argument. But remember, they ended up hooking up together. I haven't been to Baguio yet, Golden Gate. Monroe, he's on his way up there, I think once he leaves Cebu. And Coach Jay, from the one who introduced me to True, he was the one that brought, Jim was with him when they came to my house. He was up there for a week. But Baguio is now a big tourist place now. The Beach of Life says, I did forensic IT security for a large state institution. They do not mess around with unlawful access to sensitive information. Yeah. A broke clock is right twice a day. That's why, guys always push back and like, well, I met my wife. I married her in 2 weeks. And look at, we still married. Yeah, but hell, look at all the ones that are not. To be honest with you, man, I wouldn't want to take those kind of odds. You don't take those kind of odds doing nothing else in your life. So why would you take those kind of odds when it comes to something as important as marriage? You're going to take that, man, that's like trying to hit the damn Powerball. Just because somebody wins, that makes you go and spend your money the next week, knowing good and well you're not going to win. The odds are so stacked against you, but that somebody won, they don't realize that the lottery people made up that saying that you got to be in it to win it. They do that to psych your butt up. I'm doing okay. I don't play the lottery, and I'm doing okay. Yeah, that's what I heard now. That's a tourist trap. And here's RLV. RLV, he's from the Philippines. I think he's Filipino. He said Baguio is full of local tourists every weekend. It's a big tourist place. I don't have any interest in going because I like the heat. And I'm more of a beach guy versus mountains. And we got plenty of mountains, beautiful mountains around here in St. Carlos if I want to see some mountains. He said, what happened to Masking Tape James? He was on the live stream Tuesday. He works 2 jobs, though. Grumpy Dude Brand says, there are so many lessons learned from those of us who ventured to the Philippines and made huge mistakes. The best advice I could give any first-time expat headed for the Philippines is trust your instincts. Absolutely. And that's all I'm saying today. The same instincts, Grumpy Dude Brand, that brought you this far in your life. Don't throw them out the window when you come over here. Use them. You don't need somebody like me sitting there telling you, I give you this long laundry list of things you need to do before you come over here. Hell, you'll never make it over here. You know. And that, that's the bottom line I'm trying to make. These guys that keep coming up with these videos, and then everybody jumped on Robert the other day. He said, hey, I got $1,250 a month. Well, hell, he's surviving in America. He'll survive over here. And America's not going anywhere. No, China is not invading America. You come over here and it don't work. Get your butt back on the plane and go back. So what? The Philippines not going anywhere either. And that's a fact. But we seem to think that it is. Guys come over here, these women snatch their soul. They've never had their soul snatched before. And then they don't want to leave. They overstay their visa. Instead of just going on back, either something simple like just go to the local Bureau of Immigration, extend your visa. They won't even do that. They overstay their visa. They don't want to go home. Or they spend all their money, then they can't go home. Yeah, guys, hit the like button. It's not going anywhere. It took me 9 years of back and forth, learning a little bit more, adjusting my plan a little bit more, figuring out how much I needed. Not you. My plan is not for you. My plan was for me. I'm not going to put my plan out there because it's not going to work. You know why it's not going to work? I wrote a thing. Our pensions are not the same. Our tastes are not the same. Our circumstances are not the same. We're not the same. But if I can come over here, what makes you think that somebody else can't come over here? You think I got lucky? No, I didn't get lucky. I just came over here. Nike said, just do it. Yeah, I just did it. Coach E said, how long is the flight to the Philippines from Atlanta flying to Manila? It's pretty far. I've done it before. You're going to fly from Atlanta probably to Seoul, Korea, or Japan, which is about 12 hours. Then you're going to fly another 4.5 hours to the Philippines. But don't let that stop you. Grumpy Dude Brand said, Cal would not have kept my sanity through COVID without watching you and other Phil YouTubers reminding me what I left there. Yeah, that's fine. See, I don't mind being the witness, Grumpy Dude Brand. And that's what I tell these guys, all these gurus and experts over here, they're celebrities now because they've got big YouTube channels. They don't realize the Philippines is the star. You're the damn witness. You don't believe me? Then move to America, okay? And you don't believe me? The godfather of all godfathers who laid the blueprint for the rest of us, really. Look at what happened to him. And I got big respect for Rique. But when he moved to America and stayed gone for however long he did, and I think he's still there. I don't know now because he's talking behind a green screen now. I got the utmost respect for him. He laid the blueprint for, and I've been coming to the Philippines longer than him. But he has that YouTube channel blueprint that most of us are following, basically. Look at him. He's got 61,000 subscribers. Now he can barely get 1,000 views, 2,000 views. When it used to be his go back a few years when his videos would get 1 million, 500,000, 300,000, 290. Now he's scrambling just to get 2,500 views. I'm like, but I already knew that. I'm not a dummy. They're not following me. It's the Philippines that they're interested in, not me. And when Alex living abroad left her, when I met him, he had just got here. I said, man, look, one thing you got going for you, you're in the Philippines. Your channel's going to grow. And he's looking at me like he don't believe me. Well, hell, his channel went from 3,000 to 22,000 while he was here. Now you watch what happens. His views shot up. You watch now that he's in Canada. I'm not wishing bad luck on anybody. I'm just telling you the truth. Philippines is a superstar. We're nothing but witnesses over here, guys. But it goes to some people's head. They think people are following them. They're not following you. They're following the Philippines. They're interested in the Philippines. And so, I'm not going to be stupid. And I don't have nothing to prove. I mean, when I'm ready to give up my YouTube channel, all I got to do is move somewhere else. That's going to take care of itself. There's nothing I'm going to have to do. So that's why I say, what does it look like for me to be on here telling you, oh, I got the plan for you. If you do this, and this, you're going to be okay over here. No, there's no guarantee over here. Oh, I did. I already did a Sunshine Shoulders tennis tournament. I'm thinking, when was that? Was it back in, I'm trying to think because I hurt my knee playing in it. Yeah, I did. It was successful. I did a tennis tournament here. No, but it's true, Jeffrey. You know that. I mean, even, man, people can say what they want about Thailand, but the interest in Thailand is not as big as it is in the Philippines because so many people go to Thailand. It's like 49 million. The Philippines is still a mystery to a lot of people. It was only opened up. It used to only be opened up to military people. If you go on that group I was telling you about, Brothers and Sisters in Thailand, Derek Casanaras runs that group, you'll see, man, people are going to, I mean, men and women, bunch of women, man, going to Thailand. And I'm like, well, why won't they just make the trip over here? They don't do it for one reason or not. John Gomez said, that's why I was in awe with Anthony Bourdain. He showed me the Far East his way. Now, Anthony Bourdain was a different character. I watched him wherever he was. He could have been, hell, he went to Norway and I watched him eating some kind of funky fish they eat over there. But most of us, it's simply the interest in the Philippines is so high. It's very, very high. And the Philippines is the stars, not me. But yeah, now I don't want y'all to run back and say, oh, I'm talking about Rick. I got the utmost respect for Rick. He's the godfather, I call him, They hate on him, but that man ain't really doing nothing bad. He laid the groundwork, for a lot of most of the guys that are doing videos. He showed you that it could be done. Everybody, got their own little style, but don't get me wrong. He was one of the first to really do it and do it on a big scale. But now he's struggling, man, because he left here. And I don't even know if he's back yet. I can't really tell when I go and check out his videos because he's got the green screen now. But yeah, anytime you want to get a big head, the damn vagabond awaits told me, he said, Calvin, I meet those guys over there. I can't believe it. He said, they walking around like they're real celebrities for real. I said, well, it's them, man. I can't. I can't determine what they do. He said, but you're so different. I said, yeah, because I know I'm not a celebrity. I'm just a regular guy over here opening up the window to let people look inside. That's all I'm doing. Hey, Philippines, through my eyes, and love your videos. Thanks for the great work, Calvin. Yeah, I appreciate your support. Because without y'all, there is no channel anyway. I'm not confused about that either. Maury Smith said, Cal, come with a friend or solo for an initial visit to get familiar with the country. Either way, but if you got somebody, now remember, you got to have somebody that's going to be able to, if you come over with somebody, they got to be able to hold their own If not, man, you're going to be lagging around a third wheel all the time. And that's the only risk you take by bringing somebody with you. Now, if you got somebody who can hold their own, like I had two guys come here, Ken and Terry. That's all I say because they want to stay under the radar. See, they could hold their own. Both of them, they travel together. But if you come here and you got somebody like Sammy, I think, brought his cousin here, and he basically had to look after his cousin. You don't want that. But really, if you know, I would say solo unless the other guy can hold his own. Because if he can hold his own, now you got your own support group with you. You know, you can talk and kick it around, and you won't feel as lonely when, you know, because the dust will settle, man. It's going to settle over here, and you won't be as lonely as you normally would be. And, you know, you always feel better when you got somebody with you. When you walk into a club or a restaurant or someplace like IT Park. John Ross says the Philippines need more infrastructure to attract more visitors. Foreigners traveling with their wives and kids to Thailand because of infrastructure. Yeah, see, but the Philippines' infrastructure has improved tremendously. Now, what's going on is with Thailand, it's like you're still in the West. Thailand's on that level. So they're not really, it's modern. But it's too modern for somebody like me. If I wanted modern, if I wanted infrastructure, I'd stay at home in America. But you can't do in Thailand what you can do in the Philippines, man. And I argue with anybody about that. The Philippines is a piece of clay, guys. You can take it and shape the lifestyle out of it you want to because all the ingredients is here for you to do that. Remember that I told you, I said, being in the Philippines is like being on the ground floor of a great stock, getting in there early. Well, what happened? What does the president of the Philippines say the other day? I put it on my community page because y'all think I'm joking, man. You know, it's better to get in on the ground than try to come in when it's already started. Thailand, I love Thailand. Don't get me wrong. It's just too modern for me. And especially when it comes to Bangkok, it's landlocked. There's no, I can't be landlocked. I got to be around water. And that's a fact. But yeah, they got a lot of infrastructure, man. But it's infrastructure here if you got the money. Beach of Life says, shout out to Rike. He's been posting videos of PI since 2012. Yeah. You know, he's the godfather, that's what I call him. But it was the Philippines all the time, guys. It's not any individual. Because now, you know, he's struggling, man, to get views, to get a following. He said, are you just an irregular guy? No, you're just a regular guy like me. I just pulled the curtain back for regular Joes and said, look, man, all that shit y'all been hearing on the internet is bullshit about the Philippines. Come on over here, man. The people will welcome you. Don't be a damn fool. You know, shut the hell up and mind your own business. And you're going to be fine over here. They don't care. You don't have to be 6 foot with a 6-pack earning 6 figures over here. It's not true. You don't have to. They like other people besides blonde hair, blue-eyed people. They it's a rainbow selection over here, guys. You know, you could be 18 to 80, blind, crippled, or crazy. That's what I'm telling you. And if you think I'm playing, see, y'all think I make this stuff up. Y'all don't realize, long before the Campbell Channel came on the scene, I'm seeing guys over here with beautiful women pushing them around in a wheelchair. Long before he even came on the scene. He basically made me look like a genius because boom, he pops up on the scene. He's got a YouTube channel. He's living a good life. He's got a nice looking woman and all that. They're like, well, Calvin wasn't lying. Well, I was never lying. I don't make this stuff up. Yeah, Philippines says the Philippines improving. We just can't pretend it's California. And that's exactly right. What did I tell Monroe Anderson? Asked him the other day he came here. He was saying that same stuff. I said, look, always remember where you are and you won't have any problems. You're in the Philippines. You're not wherever else you coming from or wherever else you been. You're in the Philippines. So, temper your expectations a certain, depending on what it is you're looking for. Because I think he was talking about the water pressure, just stuff like that don't even bother me now. It shouldn't even have bothered, but it's going to bother you if that's the type of stuff that, you're looking for. He said he was in Boracay, the water didn't stay hot enough, long enough, or something like that. I'm like, man, come on. MZ Jesus, Cal, you're a funny man. Kenny said, Thailand is great for vacation, but Philippines is great for life. Yeah, and a lot of people say that. It just depends. Some guys, like the younger guys, see, the Philippines is not an expat destination for younger guys. They're not going to get it, man. They're all about the infrastructure. See, they still all about the shiny stuff, the trophies and all that. So they're going to like Thailand a lot better. But somebody, as you get older and you can really appreciate what the Philippines has to offer, that peace, that tranquility, just beautiful women everywhere that will give you a chance for whatever reason. The cost of living, the weather, man, is what really attracts me to this place. The beautiful beaches. See, a young guy, he can't appreciate that. He still wants to ride around in the convertible, the drop tops and, wear the bling and, all the stuff that they got over there in Thailand. I mean, if I want to eat at the damn International House of Pancakes, I'll stay at home. If they got International House of Pancakes over there and all that. Thanks, man. Quintessential one. He said, Cal, you're the best ambassador. That's really all I am. I'm the witness, man. Good luck on Friday, Rona. Tony P said, yes, we're trying to improve things here. It's a bit difficult because we're an archipelago and not one single land mass. Yeah. I mean, each island is like its own country to begin with, but you won't even be lying to yourself. I've been coming here since 2009. If you don't think that things are improving, then you're blind. It has. And it would have been improving. The pandemic and them lockdowns, man, pushed the Philippines way back. Yeah, they obviously wasn't in the military, adapt and overcome. Well, actually, he was in the military, but you just have to remember where you are at all times. The infrastructure, most people who come here, they don't come here for the infrastructure. That's not what they come here for. And you can still enjoy yourself and have a wonderful lifestyle here. Papa Kiko, what's up? He said, love it in Bacala. The only thing missing from the Bay is going to the 99-cent store. Yeah, now it's not even 99 cents anymore. I was reading an article that said everything's like $1 and something in there now. Yeah, Beach of Life, he said, it's like being stuck on Gilligan's Island and complaining that Ginger only has one dress. Absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. I can find stuff to complain about anywhere if that's what I want to do. But I realize where I am, and I'm rolling with the punches, man. I'm not going to. Hey, Bobby Barnes, thanks for the super chat. He said, you got any spots where I can rent up to 30 days? Oh, man, there's plenty over here. You can have all the amenities of home in Cebu, Manila, for anywhere from $400 to $600 per month for 30 days, which Western standards, that's not a lie. Because that includes your utilities and, your condo fees or whatever. All you have to do now is just worry about your food and transportation, really. But a grumpy dude, Brian, says that Charles Jones, there is no magic number for everyone. Yeah. But they say the sweet spot is between $2,500 and $3,500 per month with some emergency savings, of course. Yeah. See, the only problem I have with that is if the $2,500 to $3,500 includes emergency savings, that I'm putting part of that up, because I can't see how somebody over here just living a normal life, even if you're taking a vacation every single month, which is crazy to even think about when you're over in the West. I can't see spending $3,500. Over here, the Philippine Statistic Authority says that if you earn $3,800 per month, you're considered rich over here. Rich. It didn't say you're well-to-do, you're doing good. It said you're rich. And I would say, okay, yeah, because you got a chauffeur driver, you're living in just a humongous place. If you're living in BGC, yeah. But if you're living in San Carlos City and if you got $2,500 to $3,500 per month, man, you're way up there, man. You're living a high life. I'm not gonna lie, but see, it's more than money, because what happens is guys get over here. You can have all the money you want. If you ain't got the right woman over here, if you don't meet the right woman over here, if you don't have the right people around you, pretty soon, man, you're going to leave out of here. The dust is going to settle and you ain't going to be able to stand the silence over here. But $3,500 is a lot of money here, man. Truth says, sweet spot is whatever I get. Hope is at least $1,100 disability a month. Back pay 5 years, $1,100 a month, going to be great. Are they giving that much back pay anymore? I know when my sister got her disability, I think she only got 2 years back pay. Didn't they stop it at 2 years, or did they start it back up for some reason? But I say just come over here. Yeah, see, okay, you don't have to live like a bum. This is what I'm saying. If you're spending $1,000 per month, it's not like they say, well, I don't want to live like a Filipino. You don't have to. You saw the apartment the house rather I had before I lived here. Right now, it'd be $145 per month. Okay, that's $145. Now you pay another, let's say, $80 for your electric, another $5 for your water. Okay, now what's that? $145, $225, $230. You got $770 left out of $1,000. So of course your food, let's cut that in half. So now you're gonna spend $350 for food. So you got $420 left. You got your immigration, that's about $29 a month. That's stuff you absolutely have to have. Everything else is a lifestyle choice after that. Do you buy a motorcycle? Do you ride the bus? Where are you going on your vacation, or if you're going to go on your vacation at all? Now, if you got $2,000 a month, look how much you're going to save. Yeah, you got to have some savings. Or if you got $1,500. But to say that you can't live over here on $1,000 a month, I mean, what are you? Why can't you do that? You can. But the bottom line is this. Come on over here and see for yourself what you can do. Don't let me discourage you. Don't let me tell you that you can't do it. What you can, I cannot do. Michael Beecher Life says a good woman here can keep your budget in check. Even though they suck at budgeting themselves, they just know what isn't a good deal. Yeah, you can't. The one of the biggest mistakes, first big mistakes I made was I put the money in the Filipino's hand. No, you manage it. You let her spend it, but you manage it. And you'll save a lot of money because they can't manage it. They're used to, dealing with 10, 12,000 a month. Then all of a sudden you put 100,000. No. Philip Jones said, you're better off to start off in Manila, Cebu. That way your body and mind won't go into shock. Then ease in the smaller cities. Small cities don't have air conditioning everywhere. A trike or jeepney has no air conditioning. Yeah, but I would even go further, Philip. I would say, I call it Expat Alley. Angeles City, you can start there. Manila, Cebu, Dumaguete, Davao, General Santos, even Zamboanga City, Ilo City. You can go to these places. They got everything there that you got at home. The fast internet, the big malls, the cars, they got all of that in these places. But yeah, he's right, and that's what I would suggest to any new guy. Don't come straight to St. Carlos City. If you do, it's going to be some challenges. You're going to find yourself leaving every so often, spending a lot of money you don't have no business spending. Going to those same places I was just telling you about. Ilo, Dumaguete, Bacala. I forgot Bacala. You're going to find yourself doing that because you're giving up so much. It's like a culture shock. But if you ease into Manila, Cebu, and one of them places, it's not going to be as shocking. But we don't listen. Yeah, but see, Dan, he said, Will and Ness says, take a look at Dan by the way. He posted an interesting take on the $3,000 a month cost of living expense question of living in the Philippines. But see, this is one of the ones I'm talking about. And all this is, guys, listen, I did a video long before he did this video because me and Dan, we think alike. But go back, and I'm talking about the myth. The $3,000 per month budget is a myth. I talk about the same exact things he's talking about. But I'm saying it's a myth. And he knows because he's the budget guy. He knows you don't need 3,000, but your taste may require that you need 3,000. It depends on what what you like, what you're doing. Some guys it's going to take more than that. But average guys like me, just regular guys who are we beyond that stage. I can't see a 60-year-old man doing all that foolishness like that. But if you're a younger guy and you still into all of that, if you haven't went through that phase yet, then yeah, you may need 3,000. I don't need it. But when guys come out with videos like that, it scares people because they know they don't have 3,000. But guess what? Neither do 3/4 of us over here have 3,000. This is the nitty gritty. What I'm trying to tell you. That's why I don't like that 3,000 when people throw that out there because the majority of us over here do not have $3,000 pensions every month. Okay, the overwhelming majority. What about the Chinese and all of these other expats, not just Western expats? That's a lot of money, man. He said, how much to get a housekeeper cook? And everybody knows I respect Dan, Vagabond Waste, but he makes a great point. You got to listen to what he's saying on there. You may need 3,000 is what he's saying. If that's the type of lifestyle you want to bring from the West over here, if you're not really trying to acclimate, to assimilate, and try to find that balance, If I'm a 2-star in America, I'm going to be a 2-star over here. I'm not going to make the mistake that Robert almost was talking about making. He's talking about, oh, I'm going to move into a condominium, blah, 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 that. I'm like, why would you do that and you're living in a trailer right now? Don't do that. He said, how much you get a housekeeper or cook? Here in St. Carlos, it's about 4,000 pesos per month. 5,000 pesos per month. But then you got, okay, is she going to live in or live out? That goes into it too, because you realize over here, not only are you paying her the salary, but you're feeding them. Okay. So, that goes into it too. And then with our housekeeper, we pay her, not only do we give her a salary and she eats good, whatever we eat, she eats, but we pay her transportation back and forth, because that's a big thing over here. Remember, a lot of these jobs, man, you're not going to get paid until after a month you've been there. Well, how are you going to get back and forth to work for a month? You have to put that in perspective too. But yeah, these $3,000 and all that. Jeffrey Taylor, thanks for that super chat. Says, speaking of videos, Cal, you're right down the street from 1,000 videos. Looking forward to that celebration. Man, thank you, brother. And I never knew I was even getting that close to 1,000. That's a lot of videos, man. And from time to time, I'm going to start putting some of my older ones on my community page so y'all can look at them, because you're not going to go back and look at 1,000. And some of my best videos are back there. But that was one of them. It's sort of like what I'm talking about today. When people throw that number out there, that 2,500 to 3,000, that's a scary number, because a lot of us, most of us, aren't getting that much on our pension. So they're saying, hey, I ain't got no business over in the Philippines. But when I look at those videos, I'm saying, well, damn, I lived over here for all these years with no one near what they're talking about. And there's no sense in me trying to tell you that you can't do this or you can't do that based on just my experience. I have my plan and you're going to have yours. Let's see. House says they pay out the money working in the Philippines. Well, you know what I'm saying. When you first start out, even if it's 2 weeks, because they get paid like what? 15th and the 30th most of the time, but some people get paid like the 5th and the 20th. Okay. You're not going to get paid right away. You have to go into, just like in America. If I start my job, if we get paid every Friday and I start Monday, I'm not going to get paid on Friday. I'm going to get paid that following Friday. Well, hell, what am I going to do for lunch, gas money, and all that until then? Well, it's the same way over here. And transportation is a big thing over here. Well, how am I even going to get back and forth to my job? Then my lunch. And then by the time, hell, I get paid, I borrowed it all. I've spent already. Hey, DeMario Laws, thanks for that super sticker. I just try to encourage people just to come over here, just to visit, and then come up with a plan on what you're going to do. Are you just going to visit once a year? Because it'll recharge your batteries over here. It'll make you go back there. And if you don't have a plan, you come over for 2 weeks. When you go back, you're going to have a plan. You're going to have a plan. You're going to be like, how do I get back over there? And how do I stay longer than 2 weeks? You're going to start saving money. You're going to stop doing stuff over there that's taking your money. You're going to start saving it. Because that's what I did. So I'm not going to tell you, oh, don't come over here at all. And, I'm going to give you some laundry list of requirements, knowing that I'm not even living up to the laundry list of requirements. Then I look at your life and be like, I don't want to live like that anyway. You're not living like all that. You're not even living off of $3,000 per month, but you're going to tell everybody else that's what they need over here. Because if $3,000 a month is getting you what the lifestyle that you're living, I don't want none of that. I don't want none of that. I can live a whole lot better than you can. The Ghost of Pennsylvania 1-1 says, I have plans to depend on a pension. That's why I've been working and saving for years and staying single. Just have a plan. It don't have to be my plan. Use the same common sense that you always use. You don't have to be some extraordinary success over in your country. The fact that you're still living in your 50, 60, 70 years old means you're doing something right. Just do that. Hey, thanks, Charles. Holiday says, hello, Calvin. Thanks so much for all your awesome information as always. I just say, man, live until you die. Because we're all going to die. And don't sit there overthinking things. Then by the time you make it over here, you're on your deathbed. Just come on over here. And or some other place, wherever it is that you've been dreaming of going. But since I'm in the Philippines and people watching this are interested in the Philippines, we're talking about the Philippines. It's not like I was the first one to come over here and find a piece of heaven. Hell, my buddy just came back last night. He was over the first time he ever left the country. He came to the Philippines, stayed for 4 months, had that sad, crying feeling on the way back. He didn't last 2 months in America. Now he's back. I'm just telling you what the place would do for you coming from the West and our upbringing and our indoctrination and all that. When you come to a place like the Philippines, it would change your life, man. It can, if you allow it to. It certainly will rejuvenate you. Hey, Kevin Hill said, good day, brother Cal. Good day, brother. He says he meant to say he's not depending on a pension. Well, you can't depend on a pension over there either. If you do, you're going to struggle. Who wants to live? Okay, why not have your own place over here instead of that assisted living place you're going to have over there? They're going to warehouse you over there. Look, guys, I've seen it for 18 years. That was my job as a Medicare Advantage representative. My customers were stacked on top of each other in these senior high-rise buildings. They come down once or twice a week and play bingo or listen to a presentation by somebody like me or something like that. The rest of the time, they locked up in them little boxes that they called apartments. I didn't want any of that. I saw that every day for 18 years. I didn't want that. I said, I want something different. And so I started planning. Hell, you can't live off $1,200 over here. You surely can't do it in America. And I guarantee you, your $1,200 will give you a better lifestyle here than it will there. All they're talking about, oh, well, what if this happens? What if that happens? Well, it's going to happen. It's going to happen wherever you are. You can't stop life. You can. He said, can you volunteer at local schools and different places? Yeah, but you make sure you get in touch with the, barangay officials and all of that. But I'm pretty sure you could, if you got the right type of qualifications. I mean, what do you mean volunteering in school? MSG says 68 days into Thailand, been in the States, and it's pretty depressing. Yeah, it can be depressing, but it can also be good. You might just need a breath of fresh air. If you read the book by Dorothea Brand, Wake Up and Live, it says if you live in the country, go to the city. If you live in the city, go to the country. Get out of that routine most of us are in. And that's what a trip to the Philippines, Thailand, Brazil, DR, the Bahamas, Trinidad. That's what that'll do for you. It'll get you out of that routine. It'll shape you up. So when you get back home, you can appreciate what you got there. But a prophet has no honor in his own home. Sometimes you got to get out from where you live and where they take you for granted all the time. Even that damn job, you've been there for 30 years. They seen your damn face for 30 years. They take you for granted. He'll be here next year. He ain't going nowhere. Hey, Darren Coach, he said, hey, Calvin Roach, I know you got joked about in school like I did. My last name is Coach. On the fence about moving out of the USA. Thanks for the informative content, man. Well, you don't have to move all the way out initially. When you first started swimming, you just didn't jump into 12 feet, did you? You probably got in the baby pool first. And that's what I would suggest you do over here or wherever you're talking about going. Get in the baby pool first. You know how we should walk around like this, like we swimming? Just do that. And then as you learn how to swim, you get better. Then you jump off the diving board. That's what I did. But you jump in that damn 12 feet, you're going to drown. And that's what happens to a lot of guys, like that damn guy that, what they call him, John. He's become a celebrity for his failure. But the only thing he really did wrong was he outstayed his money. If he'd have just went on back, he wouldn't be the damn fool that everybody thinks he is. He just outstayed his money. Don't outstay your money over here. If you see your money's going down and you got money to go back home, guys. There's no shame in that. And come back. A lot of times we stay too long and the Philippines becomes boring. You can do that. A lot of people are leaving not because the Philippines has, they don't have the money. It's just they've gotten bored. They want to see somewhere else. They're staying stuck in that same environment. Most of the guys that come here to see me, they've taken my advice. They're going around this place and seeing as much as you can because you can get bored here. And they end up going home. They're saved for some other reason. No, you're bored. Isaiah Allen said, Cal, what is it about visiting or moving to a foreign country where your currency is higher than the local currency and your money goes further? What makes people lose all financial common sense? It's because now you can't manage your money at home. And if you can't manage your money there, you wasn't doing a good job at it. What makes you think that coming over here, you're going to be a better money manager? You're just going to have more money to mess up. And instead of them staying on the same lifestyle that they used to live in, if I'm used to smoking, roll my own cigarettes at home, why would I want to 2 minutes I get off the plane in the Philippines, I'm going to go get a pack of Newport 100. Now all of a sudden, I'm balling. And that's what people do, Isaiah. You've been catching the bus all your life over in Louisville, Kentucky. Now all of a sudden you want to come over here and get a fancy motorcycle. No, man. Ride the bus over here too. And your money will go further. Because remember, $1,000 in your hand in America, it's going to be the same $1,000 when you come over here because of your thinking. You're going to spend it the same way you do over here. It's your spending habits that you have to change. You just got to have more money to screw up, man. That's all it's going to be. John Gomez says, I did not go for the pension. They bought me out and gave me a bulk payout check. Lovely. Yeah, see, a lot of people, they come out smelling like a rose like that, where money's no object to them. There's guys that come over here that I've hung out with, the money is no object to them. They could live anywhere they want to live. But for them, there's something about the Philippines that really yanks their chain. It could be the women over here. I don't know. It could be the welcoming committee that you get when you come here. because they roll out the bright red carpet. It could be the weather. It could be the fact that, you know what, I can live my same lifestyle over here for less. It could be that. Whatever it is, the Philippines does something, man, and they fall in love with the place. Okay, Andrew CJ says, I'm 34. Yes, I don't feel girls my age here want me, but early 20s are interested. And where are you? Where are you? Are you in America? See, if I was still in my 30s, I probably wouldn't be thinking about coming to the Philippines. I've got a friend over here. I think he's thinking about going back again. He's in his 30s, I think 33 or something like that. Because he's probably still chasing the American dream over there. The Philippines is not a good place for a young expat. If I was a young expat, I would be in Thailand. But is it a good place for a young person to visit? Yes. But to be an expat, no. If I were young, because I'm saying me. How did y'all let this guy get by here, Jacob Beach? I mean, get rid of this guy here, whoever he is. I'm trying to get rid of him, but I can't see. Well, I wouldn't care. He says, first of all, I don't have a wife. I don't care. She couldn't be cheating on me. What's that one song by what's his name? He died. The one song Lean on Me. He said, use me up. What's it called? Use me. Yeah, if she's using me, then I'm sure I'm using her too. And we just using each other. What are you talking about? Can he write off those? I doubt it. I don't think he'd want to do that anyway. See, when you move, if you live in the United States, okay, if you're an American citizen, because I can't only talk for American citizens, because I've done it. If you live outside the country for 330 days or longer, consecutively, I guess, no, accumulatively, in the aggregate, you get a tax break for living overseas. But I don't know if he'd want to, I mean, why would he do that? I don't think he did. MZG said, Cal, how long does it take to get out of the matrix mindset when going overseas? Not a long time, man. Because I'm on the outside looking in now, and America looks real crazy to me. I mean, it looks real scary to me, man. It's like, that's my country that I put my life on the line. I love America, man, but it looks violent. I don't know. I just woke up one day and I was on the outside looking in, like, man, I don't even watch football anymore. It kind of, in sports like I used to, it's like all that stuff was a distraction to hide something bigger in my eyes, because it's just not, I don't give a damn. When I hear these conversations, when we talking about these athletes and stuff, they just don't interest me. I don't care. He's better. Oh, he's man. You see how fast he can run and all that stuff. I don't get into sports and all that anymore like I used to. Just that whole culture over there. I've gotten it's out of my blood. The religion, all of that over there, man. Some stuff I took with me though, and I always keep with me. It always be, you know, American to me. But when you live outside of America, I'm talking about actually live outside of America for years, and you look back over there and you see all the stuff that has people's attention. They're still arguing about race and all that stuff. There's a movie on it's a damn movie. It's called, the black lady, she's playing some type of, um, you know, African warrior, something. And they're in an uproar about that over there. I'm like, it's not for Hollywood to teach us our history. So it's just that stuff like that. I don't have time for that anymore. I spend my time doing a lot more productive things, or just laying back on the beach, relaxing, enjoying my life. I don't get caught up in all of that. Now they want to talk about, Brett Favre is not, ESPN is not talking about the Brett Favre situation like they are the Michael Vick. I don't want to hear about all that stuff. That's out of my control, man. Come on. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Darren. He said, if your wife is or was cheating on you, why he got a problem with that? Just saying, big fella. That's Bill Withers' song. Yeah, what is it called? Come on, guys. What's the name of that song? Use Me or something? Yeah, Use Me Up. Yeah. No, I didn't retire from the military. I just did one tour. Man, I tell you, I have the utmost respect for people who were able to do that. I didn't have the self-discipline. Now, I could have stayed in with the military boot on my neck and probably squeaked through 20 years, but who wants to do that? You have to have some level of self-discipline that I didn't have. But the guys who can do that, man, I really take my hat off to them. And, man, what a great decision that was. Yeah. But see, he's right about this. Let me go to RLV. He said Filipinos will go hoops crazy next month NBA opening. Yeah, but it's a different hoops crazy than what we go. We'll actually argue about who's the greatest basketball player of all time. Like, who gives a damn? Who gives a damn about all that stupid stuff? Yeah, woman king. That's what it is. See, that's the type of stuff I'm talking about. Can't we, if we're going to argue, can't we argue about something a little bit more productive, a little bit more meaningful than that? Or, who's ESPN's not covering the Brad Favre scandal like they did the Michael Vick scandal. See, that type of stuff used to raise my blood pressure. Now I'm like, I don't give a damn. Because at the end of the day, they don't really care about me and my family. It really doesn't it doesn't mean anything, guys. Because what we do is we complain a lot over there and we don't do anything about it. We complain and yet we vote the same people in the office year after year after year after year. If you really want to change, then you run for office. But these people make all these promises over there. Then they get into office and they realize they can't really make a difference. The status quo is up there. Bobby B says, wish you could interview a Filipino player who could explain how he attracts other women and he's married with a family. Well, because he knows their language, first of all. He's part of their culture. He knows how to flip their switch. All you have to do is, flip open your wallet, basically. And you could do the same thing. That's how I did it. Because that's where it starts with us. See, he's got an advantage. He's a Filipino. They know he really don't have a lot of money. Or they don't think he does. They don't expect him to have any money. They expect us to have money, and they even think we have it, even when we don't have it. But yeah, it starts out. See, his advantage is it wouldn't do you any good anyway, because a woman's going to look at you for money and for a financial come up anyhow. Now, what that looks like years down the road, that's up to you and her. I don't know. Sometimes it turns into love, sometimes it don't. But you're not going to come over and be a player just for the sake of being a player. Yeah, see, I wish I had that type of vision as an 18-year-old. I had got to the point where I was counting my days so I could go home. Believe it or not, I just couldn't, even though I enjoyed it, especially when I got out to sea. See, if I could have stayed out to sea, I probably would have, lasted for 20 years. I liked it out there. See, I'm not normal like everybody else. A lot of people wanted shore duty and all that. I didn't mind going to these other countries, then coming back. It kind of made me appreciate being on land. Because my first year and a half or 2 years was in Millington, and I couldn't wait to get out on the ship. And luckily, I was able to be stationed on an aircraft carrier. Well, it's just not black people. Remember, black people are Americans. See, this is what I'm saying. It doesn't really matter who's killing who. Chinese are killing Chinese. You know who's killing Filipinos over here? Filipinos, man. Black people aren't getting on planes flying to the Philippines killing Filipinos. We're no different than anybody else. You kill the victim and the perpetrator are somewhere in close proximity to each other. 90-some% of blacks kill blacks. 80-some% of whites kill whites. But we got to get out of that type of mindset. Yeah, black people treated second-class citizens over there. Absolutely. But we don't want to. But why are we still in bed with the same people who treat us that way? You can't have it both ways. You got to do something about it if you want to see it change. We haven't changed anything. We haven't changed nothing over there. He said, yes, it's crazy with the young black people in the USA. They are killing each other. Well, who's killing the white people over there, Larry? Is what I'm saying. Who's killing Filipinos over here? Who's killing the Japanese in Japan? The Brazilians in Brazil? But we're not doing anything about it. It's still the same, way when I was growing up, man. It's no different. But we still complain, pointing the finger. J.D. Daly says, have you visited Bahal, sir? I have. I went to Chocolate Hills and it was mind-blowing. I hope 1998, 50 is enough for me to stay back there. What do you mean, every month? Absolutely. In a little place like Bahal, now you would have to leave Panglao, Bahal. That's the tourist place. That would use up all your 1998, but you could move to Tagbilaran and then just, make day trips to Panglao. Yeah. I'm just saying, it's not about politics. It's about the culture over there. It's like they dumbed us down over there in America because we're still arguing about the same stupid stuff. I'm 59. I got tired of it, man. I left. Does it mean I don't love America? No, it don't. But I don't love that type of stuff going on over there. Roger Lee said, what I did was almost as good. I did 10 years in the military, and I've been working for the federal government for 19 years, for a total of 29 years. Yeah. See, same thing, basically. Yeah, and he said Japanese killing themselves. But you get my point. There's no such thing as black on black crime. That's something one of them white right wingers made up over there. Why don't they call it when John Gotti and them kill each other? Why don't they call it white on white crime? When John Gotti and all these gangsters over there in the mafia, when they kill each other, why don't they call that white on white crime, which is what that is? That's foolishness, guys. That's the type of mindset we got. We don't think for ourselves over there. We're not taught to think for ourselves. In America, you don't have to do anything. You don't even have to think. They do everything for you. You don't create your own job. They create that for you. You don't build your own house. They build it for you. You don't buy it. The bank finances it. You go to the store. The food's already killed and on the shelf. You don't do anything. You don't even have to think. So we become dumbed down. We become stupid. So we fall for, the lies easily become the truth. And you just get tired of that, man. I did. Sure, Darren. Let me put my email up here. But every now and then we got to talk about stuff like this because we don't talk enough about it. It's not going to change. You got to talk about it first, then put in a plan of action. Look at the Jewish people. You think that they complained about being harassed and everything, but they did something about it. There's my email. Yeah, we don't learn how to think for ourselves, guys. And when you learn to think for yourself, people gonna look at you like you crazy, like they look at me. My family and everybody, they used to look at me like I'm crazy, but now they know I'm not crazy. You crazy. You over there in that burning house. I got out of there. Hey, thanks, brother. Yeah, it's 12 o'clock, man. I want to thank y'all for all your super chats, your super stickers, your thumbs up, all your support for keeping the chat lively. I forgot to mention to y'all, I went back in the gym yesterday. Merlin talked me into it, man. I had a great time. We're going back today. Now, the gym cost me 25 pesos a day. And then the personal trainer, this is a real personal trainer. This isn't some fat guy from the block. He charges me 50 pesos a day to give me the nutrition training, everything that would cost you $80. When I left the United States, I was a member of the YMCA. A personal trainer there costs you $80 per hour. Here, it's 50 pesos for the whole day, however long your program is. See? So I started that back, man. I feel the effects of it already. He's bringing me along slowly, which is what I told him, because I really don't know what I'm doing. I don't want to get big, but I do want to get tight. I want to get stronger. And as you get older, your muscles aren't the same, guys. The doctor will tell you, he will suggest to you to have some type of weight training, because I do cardio already.
The real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground.
Hey, thank y'all. Take care, stay safe, stay COVID free. Look for my next video. But did y'all see that short that I posted? See, that was one of the videos me and Merlin was making. And oh man, if you see the look on my face, because That was like the fourth or fifth take. I'm trying to show her, how to talk in front of the camera. And man, she burst out laughing, and my patience had run out. But yeah, thank y'all so much. I appreciate it, man. Take care, everybody.